While they're shooting the shot.
All right, welcome everybody to Battlefire Crib.
You did it again.
We're going to talk about the raid and everything else associated with it, the prizes and whatnot. So let's say hello to everybody. Magic Mike
Hi there.
and Derpy.
Number 2, baby.
Alrighty, and TSM.
X1 all the way.
Okay, very
That was
good.
a good one, TSM. I liked that. That was just like, boom, do it.
Already have.
Alrighty,
I love it.
maybe we'll learn some stuff on the X1 as we get through there, because it's not presented in the stat block the way that it ends up working out. It's actually better. So let's move on. First slide.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're talking to me.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, there was an emergency update to the bug fixes this afternoon, where they fixed an issue to correct the Vengeful Ronin's stat blocks in the game. They sort of did. It got rid of the plus 300 accuracy that popped up like 6 times. But as you'll see, there's some things that are not included in the stat blocks that make X1 a better decision. I don't know who's complaining about mega halls, but they can do it all they want. And I have not run into the issue where the composite walls appear as level 1 walls, because that's like a whole size thing. It's 4-to-1. So I'm curious to see what that actually looked like.
I was going to say, does that mean you can stack 4 in the space of 1? So you just get the quadruple effect of protection? That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm sure they're bringing stacking pack. So, and also it appears, I'm not sure who here would get them, but maybe in chat, I asked about the U3 offer because I had not seen it yet, and I was talking to Kixeye and they said it was stuck. So at some point soon, if you have not received the offer, you should be receiving it soon. So
for the Ronin, yeah?
Yes, the Ronin U3 offer that we normally get about 4 hours ago.
I swear I saw it, but I can't look back right now. I'm going to try another brand.
No, I got confirmation that it was somehow stuck, whatever that means.
Interesting.
I think they probably just need to turn it off and on again.
Yeah, other people haven't seen it as well.
It's just the ECM one I can see at the moment. That's it.
I can still build multi-day buildings with a 1-hour building token. Okay, that's cool. Alrighty. All right, well, let's move on then. All right. We are in Death Before Dishonor. We have the January contest that we talked about before. We have a designer diary, stat compression, which just appears to be taking off some zeros. From what I've heard, without increasing the power of the Thud 1, they can only divide by 7, because that has a damage of 7. But I'm assuming that they're not too worried about increasing the power of the Thud 1. So
they're buying the Thud 1 is what we're hearing.
Yeah, it's basically.
Well, who said it has to be a whole number? Why can it be 0.07 damage?
That's true. But I think that would probably not accomplish their goal of simplifying things if we had fractional, decimals. I don't know if that would get what they want, but I still have not heard as far as when we're expected to see the Return to Honor or whatever the skirmish TLC is. Hopefully we'll have that by Friday in one way or another. This update to the PvE calendar was supposed to come out, I think, December 20th. And they said after the holidays. It's now January 13th or January 14th for crypto, and anybody else listening in Australia. But
Yeah, it's on
still,
lockdown. That is.
yeah, because as we saw, a lot of people had a great amount of success doing that TLC using the Ronin, and you wouldn't want to be stuck in a 10-day upgrade on the X1 or 9, 10, whatever it is, upgrade, going from U3 to X1 and not be able to use, your full fleet on that. So I think it's, at least in my mind, I consider that the raid relevant TLC to be, especially the second one, to be the most important date that we can actually get. The rest of them are extremely predictable. This one moves around a little bit at times. It normally occurs during the same week as Bounty, but not always. So, all right. Okay. All right. They got it out. They unstuck it.
Hey, Paul. Thanks, mate.
Okay. Oh, but it appears they pulled LEGO, so maybe we haven't fixed everything. So I don't know what happened there. I know some people weren't getting it. Maybe the $39.99 offers, or some of the offers went out because they're all,
I'll just refresh again and have a little look. I had 11 offers. Let's see what happens when I refresh and see if it's changed.
Well, you're all at U3, aren't you? Yeah, I'm
but the deals still turn up, though, believe it or not. Because the ECM deal is there to upgrade to U3, and obviously mine are all X1s, so I'm still on 11 deals, so I've had nothing extra dropping yet.
Okay. Alrighty. All right, well, let's move on. All right, a reminder to everybody, this is our only current data point in regards to when we should expect the base upgrades to drop. If you take a look, this was the end of February. I think February 28th is when it actually dropped, when we went last year from Outpost 11 to 12. And if you read in the blueprint at the bottom, it appeared that in December, like we had it happen this year, we got the prerequisite and the early builds associated with Outpost 12. So if they repeat, as they do a lot, but not always, this is the time frame that you're looking at as far as your Outpost 13 upgrades. But again, there's no guarantees. As we were just mentioning, they sort of switch things up when they want to. Okay, there's nothing else on that. Let's move on. All right, Death Before Dishonor. I'm not really sure how this font became associated with Japan.
It's awful, isn't it?
Well, it's more like Chinese kung fu movies is what it's from. But
I'm sure Kitsai didn't really explore the cultural significance of their art.
Well, their art department is in the neighborhood. Their art department is in Vietnam, last I heard. So at least there's someone in the neighborhood of all this. So, but who knows? But let's move on. This is the current raid that started already in alpha and beta. The other worlds will need to wait. All right. There's two main sort of prizes. But the first one we'll get to is the upgrade from the Ronin from U3 to X1. The one on the left is the normal Ronin. You'll see a large increase in concussive and explosive survival. And then the CMs that are on both sides of your ships. And all it says is you get a firing angle increase of plus 33%. Previously, I think it was for the Punisher, it was given to you in plus degrees. It was plus 30. So if you go to the right, you'll see you go from a firing angle of 60 to a firing angle of 80. It's 79.88. So it's actually an increase in percentage, not like it was with the Punisher. But the thing that's not documented over here is the blind spot shrinks from 47 down to 15, which is probably more advantageous than the increase in firing range, because you can still move and potentially clip something with a minimal blind spot.
Yeah, and I've just had a look at that now, and it definitely does help.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why we want clear stat blocks that tell us what our upgrade does.
Can't imagine that. No.
Well, this is better. That I find it better that at least there's something. It's better than advertised, as opposed to the other way around, as opposed to worse than advertised. So at least it's, they're not taking credit for what they're doing, so they're not selling it properly. But people that were going to buy it with just the plus 33 are going to be happy to see that they've the huge reduction in the blind spot. On the right-hand side is the upgrade for the Vengeful Ronin, which has the same bonuses that you get with the normal Ronin. Plus, there might be more to this, and I don't quite understand this one at all. Torpedo Flurry takes the salvo from 1 to 6, and it increases the slow from 40% up to 60%. I'm still a little bit of a loss. Maybe that's explaining it after I watched TSM's video. The salvo goes from 1 to 5, 1 to 6, which would not increase your damage, but it would increase the coverage of the slow effect. Okay, now I'm getting it after I watched TSM's video. And if when you run through this later, I'm assuming that that orange aura that appeared to have a range of about 60, 40, 60, about 60, that is the slow effect. It appears to last for about a second.
Seemed to, yeah.
And
I wasn't sure what it was to start with. It must have been. It wasn't until Derby mentioned it. I went, oh yeah, I forgot about that stat, because obviously I read the blueprints. No.
Yeah, but it doesn't give you like, we didn't. I assumed it was, I guess, I don't know. I assumed it was, you hit it, it gets impacted, sort of like, as opposed to being like a tactical field, sort of comparing like, you had more weapons back in the day that would have a slow effect when you hit the ship, but more and more things now are auras. So, this slow effect appears to be about a second, a range of, 40 to 80, somewhere around there. And so it only slows the ships that are within it while they're in that aura. But now if you have 6 of them firing off every 0.2 seconds, it's going to extend the slowdown aura, both in intensity and in location, because it's going to be firing every 0.2 seconds at that target. So it's going to follow it a little bit better. So I think I understand it now.
Okay, that could make sense. So you now have 6 torpedoes doing less damage, but still 3.5 million total?
Yes, and the reason to do it, I think, is only the slow effect, to do it that way. If that makes sense, because each one of these is supposed to produce the aura. So I think that's my assumption is what the reasoning is behind it. So we lost TSM for a moment. Maybe he's I don't know. But let's move on to the unless anybody has anything else in the Ronin. Whoops, I forgot to change the title of that one. But let's move to the next one. It shouldn't be titled Ronin Upgrade. But this is the Avalanche Mortar. Oddly, it's limited, but for some reason we have 2 tier 9s. I don't know if this means we're going to get a tier 9.5 at some point, or they just forgot to call the the Avalanche to 9.5, or we should expect more because of the long life cycle of the FM fleets. This is for your Everest.
I can only assume this one is supposed to say 9.5.
What?
I can only assume this one's supposed to say 9.5.
Yeah. I mean, it would make sense, but I mean, even with the artwork, it's tier 9. Everywhere it says tier 9. So I don't know. A lot of times we get 9.5. So we see a damage increase of 11%, going from 63,000 to 70,000. But we also get a reload time decrease from 5 to 4. So if you combine those things, you get a damage per second increase of 38%. So you're never actually going to see the 38% unless you're going to fire at this thing forever. You're going to get the damage you actually do to the target is going to increase with every volley of mortars, but I don't know. I mean, I wish TSM hadn't dropped off because he didn't seem impressed by it, but it seems useful for me. What do you think, Derpy? What's well? I don't.
This mortar.
Yeah.
I'm not impressed. I mean, the damage number is low. The reload number, I guess you're saving some reload there. I am also not impressed by it. It's expensive. We get 5, probably need 40 total. It's not great. Maybe the projectile speed turns out to be the saving factor, and you can hit. Like, you can have 2 salvos in the air and hit the target before 1 from your old mortar would. It's not great. But what else are you going to get?
Yeah, I mean, I think the combination of, the damage increase, the reload time, and the projectile speed should be enough for you to be killing things, at least some targets or some towers or ships or whatnot, a little bit faster, so maybe they aren't firing again. But we'll see how it works out. But just if you look at the, not including rank or anything like that, you do see a DPS increase of 38%, which will shrink again with specials and reloads. So, it probably works out to be 20%, 15 to 20%, which is somewhere around where they aim that stuff. And they go from tier 9 to tier 9. So, well, yeah. Well, what else is in there to get in the raid besides tokens? Tokens to upgrade the tokens to win the next ship. I don't know. Yeah. All right. Let me see if I know a word from what happened to TSM, because we're getting into the target portion of this. So if there's nothing else on this, I would still recommend getting it. You can only get 5 of them. And we've been a lot of people in deluge between the TLCs and pillage and whatnot with build tokens for the Everest. So, if you're going to spend the time to get them, they should be free to apply. So, all right. If there's nothing more on that, let's move on to the next slide. All right, we have. I've not seen the Photon ECM targets, but we have the 150, which is the auto target, and the 152. They both give you 250,000 each, and you get a set bonus of 500,000 for doing them. And hopefully we'll get TSM back to hit some of these targets. Let me see, is that him? Oops, 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. I'm sorry. I'm trying to read what happened to him. Never mind. I'll get back to the slides and do that later. So you have the 150, 152, auto, then skill. You get 1,000,000 points for doing both of them. There is a target I have not seen yet, which is the 512 and the 604, which is for the photon. They're both driving targets. And you have the ability to get one, if you've already done the 2 S targets, you will get a chance to get another 1.25 million. And the A targets we've already seen before. Derpy, do you remember if any of these are sort of auto, easy, no damage type of targets?
Well, out of the A set, none were good for autoing very well. I think the 80 is technically supposed to be kind of an auto target, but it was very poorly designed.
Okay.
So I would steer clear of those. The 150 can be autoed. Nothing else is great out of this set.
Okay, so there's nothing like we had last go round where you could auto for potentially instant repair.
Correct. There's nothing quite like that.
Okay, so there's no real advantage. I only got 2 running built, so I won't be doing much with that fleet. I got my photon and EMC fleet I can use. Yeah. I don't know what the 411 target is. If you do all 3 targets, it's 450,000. It might be grindy, but there's really not that much to be earned. But if you only have 2 running built, there are, as we get to the prizes, there are going to be plenty of build and upgrade tokens, so you can get yourself ready for next go round by doing this and potentially earn some of the other prizes. So can the Ronin do the A targets as well?
Considering their skirmish targets, I wouldn't try it.
They might be able to do the B targets, but they probably shouldn't be able to do the A targets. Because the Mutineer is also skirmish. So, but that's 100K to hit both targets, so that's even more grindy. So
it might be Sherlock too.
It might be, but I'm saying it's much more likely that you could hit the 60 and 62 than you could hit the 80, 82, and 411.
I agree.
And for some reason, TSM's router is reset on him. I'm assuming Russian hackers, but you never know. So let's move on to the next slide. All right. Just so we have everything, we know the names of everything. If we can hit the targets, the cyber prototype, it's slightly different colors than the normal prototype hunter. Counterable with the built-in side CMs, and it leaves an ice field. Next one. And the torpedoes cannot be outranged. Same with the prototype hunter. As weaker torpedoes, does not leave an ice field, cannot be outranged. Let's move to the next one. All right, the Nighthawk, which stays submerged, but once it pops up, you can still see its sonar ring that'll pop around. So you can sort of figure out where they are. In the 150, what is it, the 152? They're in the 152. Yes, they're in the 152, not in the 150. They tend to be clustered towards the middle. And once we hit the targets, you'll see you're probably just better off ringing the outside, removing the other ships, and then dealing with the Nighthawks without the confusion of the other ones around. This is the one that fires off the smart torpedoes. So if you can keep them from being activated and get the, you won't have to deal with dodging smart torpedoes at the same time, at least in the 152. I haven't seen the higher level targets. And also the medium Gatling guns, which can be outranged, so don't run them over. But it's how much latitude do you recall, Derpy, that we had with this? It wasn't much latitude or distance.
In terms of how close you can get before they shoot at you?
Yeah.
You had, well, it wasn't 0, probably 10 to 15 range. And it only shoots you when they're surfaced, which is another benefit.
Yeah. Katrina says rodents can do B targets. And just thinking of those and I watched Cal's build on Ronin and followed that. But he's only got 2 built. I'm assuming you're Cal, Derby.
I'm assuming that as well.
Okay. All righty. But Derpy has 4 ships, so that's a difference between 4 and 2 might be significant. So let's move to the next one.
My 5th one's actually just about done. Not upgraded, but done.
Okay. All right. The Proto Nemesis. This is the one that appeared to be a little bit counterintuitive. The long-range rockets have the most damage. The short-range rockets, at least according to what they tell us, have lower damage. So the idea is to close that gap, maybe use the oil fields to close that gap, minimize how much you get fired out at long range, and then try to basically sit on that ship until it dies. All right, let's move to the next one. Ice fields, they slow you down. Next one. Oil fields speed you up, and I don't know, make good use of the environment to outmaneuver the Draconians. So any more thoughts? This is the last of the aspects of the targets.
Yeah, they're fairly straightforward, except for the Proto, but that dies fairly quickly, so it's not a huge deal. Fairly straightforward.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, let's move on to I think it's the store. Yep. The Avalanche Mortar, which with that point ask, sort of feels like the Golden Eagle. It's going to be 4.5 million for the next 3.5 years, and then it'll drop down to 2.25 million once we no longer have the Everest as a hull that you could actually use in any of the FM targets. We have 10 Vengeful Run upgrade kits, or 110 per whatever. These are,
you can get a pack of 10, or you can get a pack of 50.
Yeah. Okay. And there's no economies of scale buying them that way. And then we have the you can buy 10 of both the build tokens and upgrade tokens for either 1.5 million or 1.75 million. Probably a lot of people, probably the upgrade tokens are probably the most relevant for most people, except for Carl. You should probably get them both, and probably Derpy. You should probably get them. Well, some of both.
I think I'm only about 1 day short, maybe 2-day build token on my 5th ship.
Okay. So you would get with that combination, you could get up to speed, but everybody remembers, as far as if you have like 8 build tokens, you don't need to use them. You should remember that there's going to be the Return to Honor, whatever TLC, which gives you another 8. So don't go out of your way to get the build tokens unless you need them in the short term, because in a week or 2, you're going to have plenty of them. So just if you need them, probably before the raid ends, would make the most sense to me. And but the upgrade tokens, I think, is going to be relevant for everybody. Is it a 9-day upgrade from X1 from U3? I think the maximum is a little over 10 days. It depends where your
It's
labs.
about that.
Yeah, it depends where your labs are and whatnot. I think it's 8 plus. It's close to 9. With none of that, or with everything lined up for you. So yeah, it's about that with labs and face, whatever it goes on. So I don't know if Derpy's having technical difficulties. I'm going to see if TSM's going to show back, because it's been 10 minutes. That's a long reset on his router. So because we don't really, well, unless Mike, you want to hit some?
I can. I'm not upgraded. I'm built. I'm built, but I'm not upgraded.
Okay.
I don't mind. I'm got to do it anyway.
Yeah. Well, why don't you start going?
Get off.
Oh, you haven't upgraded anything?
I don't know yet. I'm not 100% sure. I gotta look.
Okay. Alrighty.
You know my memory. I'm going off present, right? Are you done with slides?
Yeah, that's the last slide.
Okay. I am still in screen share though, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I can pop you back in when you get.
Okay, I'm checking right now to see. Oh, I wanted to see the offers as well, because I thought there was a 39 something offer to upgrade.
Oh, because you haven't upgraded anything.
Earlier,
We'll be. Why have you not upgraded?
I don't know. I've been doing the. Other one. Instant upgrade all. Wait, I got a 19. There's a 19.99 offer to go to U3 on Ronin.
Okay.
I'm just seeing it for 20 more hours. I didn't see that one before, or I don't remember seeing that one before.
Yeah, I wasn't seeing. That's when I contacted Kickside, and they said that the offers were stuck. So
so that might be. I don't know.
Yeah, cryptos came in at $9.99. How far were you at that point?
We're gonna find out in a second here what I got.
Yeah,
You're asking crypto though, I know.
Yeah, because this is $9.99. Because it's always,
I'm at U2 on 1, U2, U3 on 1, U2. So 3 are U2, 1 is U3, and 1 is the flag is not at all.
Okay, that might be part of the reason. Because I'm curious where he is, if he's half the price. Because it may be the lowest one. Because we still don't know how they calculate the price. Because like I said, I've seen everywhere from $4.99 to $39.99.
$4.99, I would have jumped all over it. I do remember seeing something earlier for $39.99. I'm not doing that.
3 at U3 and 2 at U2, and he got $9.99. And then $9.99 for 2 that was only U2. Okay, so yeah, both you guys had pretty much the same situation with 2 at U3 and then or 2 at U2 and 3 at U3. So that seems to be the $9.99. This seems very consistent. So alrighty. So I guess we'll hit the 150 is the auto target.
Oh, wait, I can't because it hasn't started here yet.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, we're sort of fucked.
Yeah.
No problem. I should have known better.
I didn't give that a thought until I couldn't find a target.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with TSM. If somebody wants to pop in and start hitting some targets so people can see what they are, where the raid has already started, I'll post a link. If not, we might be ending soon because I don't know. It's been 15 minutes for TSM's router to reboot. So
yeah, that's a long time.
He had enough, so I'm going to sleep.
Yeah, or you never know what could happen. So I've been following Derpy the Cavs. Okay. I don't know. Do you want to answer?
Kitsai gave me a level 12 dock on the near food. I don't want it. I want them to take it back. I don't want their level 12 dock.
Okay.
That the most recent video I put out is actually like a month old. I just hadn't put it out there. But you're
okay.
Correct in noticing that dock upgrade would not be possible yet because the outpost isn't upgraded, so the dock shouldn't be.
Well, with this level of attention that CatFunt's paying to you, do you think that CatFunt has potentially ordered a coffee mug?
There are no coffee mugs.
Alrighty. Hey, Crypto, how are you doing? Crypto, you're on mute.
Sorry about that. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Not bad. So you want a 150 and a 152?
Oh well, all of them if you can do it, but
you have to excuse the driving again.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's all good.
Okay, let me share my screen.
Alrighty. Well, the driving was fine besides the clouds. The clouds aren't as bad at this point.
No, the clouds actually help you if you use them properly this time.
Yeah.
So I'm finding less than an hour for 150s and just over 2 hours for the 152s, the way I'm doing it.
Alrighty.
Just over 2 hours, you said?
Yeah, for the 152. 2 hours and 1 minute. But I'm still learning the best way to do it. Okay. So these are now all U3.
Okay.
I'll join in on this one.
Alrighty. I don't know if that impacts your performance on your computer, but it's easier for people probably to see it if you go full screen. But if you don't normally hit in full screen, that's all good.
I don't normally, but I can do it.
Okay, I'm just
easy done.
Okay, it's just easier for people to on the YouTubes.
So if I also just so this one has them all around the sides. If we have a look around here, a whole heap of the
protonyms.
Protonyms and the standard others. but that's it. And this one's meant to be autoed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the oil rigs are sort of a sign that they're meant to drag you to a constant place as far as the autoing. Are you autoing, or I assume?
I'm at the moment autoing, yes.
Okay. Just just making sure.
And I noticed driving or autoing at the moment, I'm getting about the same damage.
Yeah, I missed part of TSM's. Was he getting more damage driving? Did anybody
about
get
40 minutes damage driving he got 40 minutes damage autoing the 150 and 35 minutes driving. At least on the 2 data points I saw.
Okay.
May have gotten it down to 25 on the 3rd try.
Okay. Because I came back to, all sorts of confusion, and I was, I thought, because it might have been, because we've had that happen before where you actually take less damage autoing than actually hitting the target. That was the one with the, what was the one with the drones? Yeah. Hey, TSM.
Well, that was eventful.
Do you have like a diesel-powered router?
Well, it goes past midnight, and then my IPS decides to do a firmware update. That's not very helpful, is it?
Oh, okay. Because I was wondering, okay, well, it's been like 15 minutes. Routers normally reset in that time period, and then I was like, okay. So
TSM, I thought you went to bed.
I was literally thinking, right, that's it, I'm done. And then all of a sudden the green light came back on. I was like, right, okay, I'll jump back in.
Okay, but it'll give us some chance for comparison, because you've gone to X1
on
some. Okay. Oh, besides the flag, right? Or just
not the flag, but the others.
Yeah. I said besides the flag. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it's doing what it did last time.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Oh, what's happening there?
Where it's I had this problem as well in the last raid.
Oh, I haven't had that. Just sitting there. Well, not so far anyway.
All right.
It's not letting me out either at the moment, so I might have to reload.
No. Just push the little the globe. The globe.
The globe. That's right. Yeah.
Just click on that, and it should take you out, and you'll get the points.
That's frustrating.
Yeah. So what kind of damage did you get at U3? And you were autoing this one, right?
That was an auto, yes.
Okay.
150, I take it, yeah?
Yes. So it's less than an hour again.
Okay, well, if you click on the ship, there we go, repair, it'll give you the time.
44 minutes.
Okay. That seems pretty standard, and you took significantly more damage on what appears to be the 5th ship?
5th ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, PK noticed that as well, didn't he? He said the same thing. He was getting more on the 5th ship as well.
Yeah. Now, I don't have all of the new top-level torpedoes, but this is my standard build across a lot of them.
Okay. Yeah, it looks pretty standard. You have half and half with the armors, 2 cormorants, and then what about 50-50 on the torpedoes, limited versus mounted?
At the moment, 50-50.
Okay.
So that's that.
Okay.
Would you like me to hit a 152 if I can find one?
Yeah. Go ahead.
There's one.
Let's compare as far as how much the U3 versus X1 works in a minute. Have you hit TSM? Have you hit any of the other targets in the XSAT?
Only the 2 standard ones. I haven't gone for the top level one yet now.
Okay, because maybe that would be something of interest to people, because that gets you.
Yeah. I said in the stream I'd wait and then do it on your show. So.
Okay.
I
All
haven't
right.
even looked at one yet, so
Yeah, I'm assuming it's just ships everywhere.
I imagine so. Yeah.
Like
So
70.
this has the special proto and the ones that disappear.
So the
Yeah,
whole the subs, which are the ones that fire
Smart
the
so
smart torps, which are really quite slow at turning and seem to last an awful long time. So I
but
didn't have any.
easily available.
Yeah, dodged them all. So I was quite pleased with. I mean, you probably covered it already, but I thought I was quite reasonable the time to take to kill the targets. Better than last raid.
Yes.
Have you got a crew on at all? You haven't, have you? No.
No, I haven't got any crew on these.
See, I'm not sure because maybe turning slower is actually better because you're keeping the things with. I put the evade crew on, which obviously got a fast turn speed, but then I found it quite awkward and I was almost turning too fast. If you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was stepping outside the countermeasure area. Now obviously some of them are X1, so the countermeasure area is bigger now. But beforehand, it was frustrating that I was spinning in circles and half the torpedoes were getting through. Or that's how it felt like, anyway.
I guess the secret to these are just triggering one group at a time and taking them
and
out.
jumping that oil pot things and getting as close as you can to the big hulk.
Yeah,
because it has two different types of firing mechanisms, isn't it?
That's
It's got
right.
the long
There's
range
the lesser
explosive,
one.
Yeah. So if you can stay close, you take less damage.
There's the smart torpedo.
Yeah. But you avoided it. So you managed to speed up around the corner. So
Yeah.
And their arc is rubbish, so you can dodge out the way, which is quite nice.
Yeah. Once you've missed the first time, you can almost ignore it.
Yeah, it scoots past you, doesn't it? And I don't know what the arc is, but it's bigger than the screen, isn't it? It's
So
huge.
it's still down here. It's right down there, and still turning. So I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, it'll blow up by the time it comes down anyway. So yeah, you've only got one sub, and it's nice. The subs are, you've got to get pretty close to trigger those subs, which is quite good.
Yes. They seem to be clumped with these other two. It tends to be a 3. Great. Come up here.
Yeah, even there you avoided it with ease, didn't you? So
yes. Notice it's using the black Cesswell to speed up and getting the effect. So that's something to keep in mind.
And that's the trick, isn't it? Is knowing your route and then thinking which, because I mean their pattern's pretty set, to be honest. So it's just knowing where to place yourself to take advantage of all the extra fields you're getting. Yeah.
And that's the 152 done.
Nice.
Let's see if it freezes again for me. Yep. No, it's going to go
You're
through.
out this time. Yeah, you're out this time.
Yep. So 1% concussive taken, 6% off explosive, and straight concussive. Interesting enough, 60% resisted.
TSM, you wishing you had gone 3 explosive armor?
Yeah, I'm pondering, I must admit. But then again, I'm sort of like, I haven't seen the big target yet.
And that's the best I've ever done on this 1 hour and 3 minutes.
There you go. And if anyone, TSM, if you refit to 4 explosive, they'll change you back to passive next raid.
Yeah, I mean, I've got the whole week, so I'll get some of it. I mean, there's plenty of time. I can get the raid tokens as well, so I might swap a couple of them into all 4 explosive and then see the comparison between the 2. I don't know yet. We'll see. Got nothing else to use the tokens on.
Right. Would you like me to hit a 512 or at least look at it?
Sure. I'm sure
Yeah.
we're going to get a... Yeah, we'll get TS... I mean, if you want to hit it, we can compare U3 versus the X1, but...
Well,
yeah,
give me an indication of what's in there as well, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go for it.
Happy to do so.
Huh. I got a pop-up. Should we be using red wine as a sports drink?
Why not?
The new studies suggest that grape polyphenols could help reduce exercise-induced oxidative stress. So there we go.
Oh, so wow. Obviously I've triggered these off just by entering.
Yeah. Is there a good spot to enter?
I was just wondering that. Is there a decent entry point? There's
look down at...
Look at
look down at the bottom. Bottom right. Bottom right. Let's see if...
Bottom right.
Yeah, that might be a trigger.
You might just trigger this one.
Yeah. I'm looking at the map in the bottom, to see where the appears to be, bottom left or bottom right appears to be...
Probably bottom left.
Yeah.
Seems to have them further away.
Mm-hmm. So probably like 7:30 or so.
Yeah.
You're not going to be... But that's a lot of stuff going on there.
That's a heck of a lot, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
However, look how the fields are laid out. It's almost like you could drive in a circle and just keep hitting those ice fields and just keep hitting the oil field or oil slick things,
It's almost like a box rectangular.
Yeah.
Effect on it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look at the utility of the... I don't know if you were with the protonems, the big black and red ones. It's counterintuitive, but you're better off
riding close,
driving right on top of them, basically.
Yeah.
So that's a good way of doing it. That's ideal because that ship's going to come out now, and if you can jump in, you should be able to get to him and kill it. Yes. And then that sub as well, because that's a... Oh, no, it's not a sub. I didn't see that. Watch the smart.
No, I got hit by him.
Yeah.
So he should come towards you now. If you turn up north straight away now, get as close to that hull as you can. You now go into the other... Yeah, I mean, jumps around top. He'll dive round below you now quickly because if he's going for you as well. So...
Well, they're not supposed to be impacted by these.
Well, they definitely are.
Yeah, they are using them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it said in the that they had, their technology was so they weren't being impacted. Not as impacted as we are, but they are getting impacted.
Yeah, well, you can zoom right past that, can't you? Yeah, see, that's cool. That. Oh, there's 2 more coming in.
Yep, I can evade those 2.
Yeah, good. Yeah, that was nice. That.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of flag, so it's at times I'm hitting it by accident. Sometimes it's me.
I thought it was my connection again.
Yeah, and the Nighthawk is that's when everything else you should sort of kite except for the this big black and red one, the protonym.
So the proto's causing an oil field, but the rest are causing ice fields. Have you noticed that?
Yep. Yes. So this one should...
So it's interesting. You're killing it on top of a... Yeah, so look, you're zooming across an ice field because it's caused an oil field underneath. So it's
Yes.
cancelling out the ice field. So that's quite interesting.
Actually, I'll go up here. Hit him first.
Yeah. Watch out for the. Don't go through the. Because he's
Ice
going to
field.
send a. Yeah, there we go.
Thank you.
Zapping now. Zapping
Yeah.
now. That's quite good.
Yeah, and but he has the Nighthawk has a depth charge cannon that you can outrange.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
what I triggered mistakenly on the last bit of when I did the stream.
Yeah, so that's
It's
the
like an
one.
ice field cannon. It looks like it shoots out white stuff. That's what it looked like to me.
Yeah, so that's the one you probably, as far as kiting, is the most important one to kite.
Yep.
Okay, fairly even.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. He has even armor, so.
All right. Okay.
Again, almost 60% resisted.
Mm.
Yeah,
That thing's standard on the targets at the moment.
yeah. It's not much we can do to fix that, though. So 2
Nope.
hours and 40 minutes.
Not the best driving. I haven't worked. That's my first look at that target.
Yeah.
There's just a lot in it.
Yeah, and probably driving so close to the Nighthawks helped up your concussive damage.
Definitely.
Yeah, because it feels like with all the targets I've seen, it seems like explosive is the unavoidable damage. You know.
Yeah, and it's frustrating because obviously the proto nem gives out the explosive, and particularly the high level explosive on the longer range rockets. They're both classed as rockets, but obviously the short range ones are low damage.
Yeah.
Everything out of the Nighthawk is all concussive, even the Gatling gun, obviously, as is the
Yeah.
smart torpedo. So there's only the one item giving you explosive.
Yeah.
Of course, the 512 by itself, you need to do the 604 with the photon EMs.
Frustratingly, yeah,
I'm not so
to
sure.
get anything.
I thought the damage type on that smart torpedo was explosive.
No, it says, I'm just on the notes now, mate. It just says Nighthawk loadout, smart torpedo, damage type concussive. I thought it was explosive initially, yeah, but it says, and then weapon Gatling gun concussive as well. I did think in one of the previous raids it was explosive, but obviously
it was
for this
explosive
one it's
not. in the TXP weekend, so maybe that's inaccurate information. But we'll have to test that or check it.
Yeah, because I agree with what TSM said. They're both listed as concussive in the strategy guide.
So they have been explosive beforehand. Those I know
I'll bet you one Bitcoin that's wrong.
Is that about $33? What's a Bitcoin worth? I don't know.
Oh, about 3,000. What,
Bitcoins?
Yeah.
What have you got? A bank of 3090 sat there with you or something?
That's what Kickstarter's doing for stack compression. They're dividing all the stats by Bitcoin's price.
All right. Do you want to hit the crypto? Do you want to hit the target with the
photon?
Yeah.
I'm just bringing them out.
Okay. All good. Just making sure we're all in the same.
Just in case you wanted me to. So that's a 411, I believe. No, it's a 604.
Yeah, I haven't really figured out the logic. I mean, I understand what they're doing, but as far as like why you hit the 604 and you get the blacklight missiles, I mean, the people that are hitting the 604s obviously don't need them.
Yeah.
All right. I wonder, I don't remember seeing it in the notes. I wonder if stuff pops up after the 5 minutes. Oh my goodness. Is this one of the previous targets that I wouldn't hit? It looks like a lot of the ones.
Is it the wide target?
Is this the 604?
I swear it's previous one, but Kickside claims it's new. I think it's an old one.
It's looking very similar to the top level of the last raid.
Yeah.
Or maybe the top level of the first Photon raid. I can't quite remember.
Yeah. I mean, is it gonna? Does anybody remember seeing anything in here? Will this create a pop if you wait for 5 minutes? Well,
That's what it did when it was an original target.
Yeah.
I can only assume it does the same thing now.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you want me to wait the 5 minutes, or do you want me just to start hitting?
If you start hitting, 5 minutes will elapse before you're done.
Yeah,
yeah, true. That's right.
Pesky little buggers. Because with the timing's worked out, it seems like they're in the they're shrouded as soon as they show up on you. If you
just at that time.
Yeah.
There he is again. I'm just a bit too close, wasn't I?
Well, yeah, especially when you're firing at the other ones. Yeah, that was more damage than you probably needed.
Needed. Yep.
Yeah. But does anybody like these targets with like a zillion ships in them?
Nope.
What?
Nope.
Did you say yes or no? Okay,
I said no and no.
No, I didn't either. That's standard on things.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Didn't like the last raid at all, just because of the targets. They just take too long. I'd rather it was more of a technical challenge, but quicker. But more costly if you made a mistake, personally.
Yes.
So let's see if any of the what appear to be single platforms underwater, if any of them come up with the scattergun. Oh, there's one. Yeah. It wasn't a single thing, but yeah, as long as you... I'm just trying to find a... a trend here. What's gonna do?
He's not going to trick it easily. There he is.
And that was a scattergun, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't that one. It was the opposite.
Okay. I'm good. There we go. No, go right at him, because you got him shocked.
Got him into shock 5. Well,
Yeah, those. Damn it, what are they called?
They're Dishonorers.
right now they're appearing automatically.
Yeah. Okay.
So at the 10-minute mark, it looks like they start appearing.
Okay, so they still pop up.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah, so almost everything's now popped up.
It just feels like you shouldn't have this many ships left, does it?
No.
I won't be doing the target, I'll tell you that. This is just too long. You could have already done the other ones by now.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got 2 different types of holes to fix as well, which is frustrating.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the only little small bonus is on the previous target, you don't, you get 500K for the target by itself.
I guess just hit these when you're repairing the others.
You do, but technically you get 500K if you include the bonus for the other X targets as well, because every time you do 2 of them, you get 250 bonus if it splits the bonus in half.
Yeah, I mean, generally the way I hit these targets when I choose to is like when I get bored of the other targets. And then I'll start to hit these. But yeah, it feels pretty long, because you've been it's not like you've been dilly-dallying at all. You're just you've been hitting it the whole time, and it's already
But yeah, so it still pops up at 10-minute point though, doesn't it? So that's confirmed at least.
Yeah.
But it's a long ass target. Look, you're halfway through the time slot of 15 minutes, and it's still you're in the middle section now.
Yep.
Yeah. It'll probably at least be right around a 10-minute target. And you're sort of just driving through it.
Yes. And like you said, I haven't been sitting idle at all.
No.
For
Okay. You could probably hit the S button at this point, I thought, but yeah.
Yeah, just want to be careful here. Yeah, now I could. And mine are all X1.
Yeah.
So I just had a quick look on the stream, back on the stream, and obviously the 150 target, obviously you get 15 minutes. On a full auto, it was dead by 13 minutes.
Yep.
And that was on a full auto.
But you were already sort of damaged, right?
Me, I was repairing in between.
No. I was talking about what TSM was talking about. Weren't you? I left. I had to leave at some point, but I saw you're like, "Don't do this. I'm about to auto the." Or unless you're talking about a different target.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So this is the 150 I was talking about. So it's just the 150, the auto target. When you go in there, and then from when the counter started at obviously at 15 minutes, the last ship died at 13 minutes and 10 seconds, and that was a full auto. Didn't drive it at all. That was full auto.
Okay, so it's like a 2 minute. Okay, you're just saying that's a 2 minute target.
Yeah, it's in comparison to obviously just doing that ECM target, which took what, 10 minutes virtually.
Okay.
Yep.
So
Less than an hour. Less than an hour surprised me.
Less than an hour with that.
Well, just watching it, it didn't feel more than
Which
an hour.
is why I hated the last raid. It just felt like it was dragging out,
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to TSM? Is there anything you want to show with ship number 5 seems to take only 150 on auto also. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree on that. Yeah.
And there might be, if you, as far as counteracting that, wouldn't it make sense if you're, with the normal path that maybe you are at, because a lot of people are able to get pretty much all of them up to U2 at least, that you concentrate the first part of your raid and getting some upgrade tokens, and putting the 5th ship at U3 might significantly reduce your damage.
Yeah, agreed.
So I'm going to switch over to you, TSM.
Okay. Right. So I won't put a crew on anything else because I thought we'll show the difference on that countermeasure thing. Let's have a quick look. It's probably easy demonstrated if we use a res though first. Hopefully a bit more space to drive around. So there's some positives and negatives, I think. They won't be able to see me because it's. So let me just pull these out of the way. Pull number 1 down and pull number 2 down to there. So there, it's nice and fairly obvious. There's a difference in the two. Look, you can see it's obviously this one's. Although the way the game's designed, it doesn't look, but you can see obviously you're gaining. It looks about an extra 10 degrees each side, roughly 15 degrees, something like that.
It's 10 on each side. It goes from 60 to 80. And then the other big point is the fact that it's
and then it's that range, and that's the key. And one of the real benefits, I think, to be honest. So obviously the flagship is at U3, as it says down there, and obviously this is the dead zone in here that obviously is not, the countermeasures aren't working. And obviously I take it that the fact that I haven't upgraded this one to X1, which I'm not going to anyway during the raid because it takes 9 days.
The dead spot's gone from 47 to 15.
Yeah, and there's huge difference, isn't it, on this one? Massive.
Yeah.
So it's much more forgiving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. When you had your firmware upgrade, I was sort of
when I died off.
I was like, what they advertised was not as, as far as the increase in the angle. I don't think it's as important as the reduction of the blind spot, because you can still twist your ships, and have a second life on.
And it's quite nice, I think, having them a little bit slower to turn up, because you can position your countermeasures definitely better. And if anything, you almost want the crew, that speeds your ships up. The old concussive one.
Mm-hmm.
So you get a 10% speed boost in your fleet, but actually all you just get then is a bonus on, is it 15%? I think it is for critical hit. So you're not actually doing any more turn speed, although you are getting less evade. But evade doesn't seem to be that important because the countermeasures seem to be working so well. And you can't and you can't evade obviously the explosives. So I don't know. What do you think? We'll have a look at a target if you want. I don't really mind, but let's have a look. We'll do. There's 512s there. We can have a look at one in a second, but I want a 150 first. So go at any angle because it's all the same, isn't it?
That's what she said.
Haha, boom.
Yeah.
He's in all week.
Yep.
Right. Okay. So the old wins the best ones. Rightio. The only frustrating thing as it looks like your fleet's not stacking. That's the only thing. It actually is. And I know I've got two different blueprints, which is frustrating. So I'm going to change the flagship because it doesn't look like the fleet's stacking. And obviously with the fact the different arcs, it is, because obviously the outer ring is identical. But it just doesn't look like it's stacking, particularly when you're zoomed out and you start driving around. It's an optical illusion, I think. Or maybe it's just me.
No, I did run into that issue earlier today when I was like, oh, okay, I'm ready to go. And then I realized I forgot to put a special on one of them. And I'm like, they're not stacking. Do they know that? And I never said anything to anybody because I was like...
Yeah, your fleet doesn't work too well without an engine on it.
No, it wasn't the engine. It was the 10% speed bonus from whatever that special is. There was one special I was missing, and I had 84 versus 88, and I was like, what's going on here? They're just not stacking. I assumed I had all the specials lined up, but on one of the ships I was missing one special, and that was...
So visually on that one, then it looks like I actually counted all the torpedoes, but I couldn't have done because obviously the retreat button wasn't available to me. So I must have took some damage on that, which is interesting. Although it did look like I actually evaded them all. So let's go over and trigger this one now.
You could retreat and see what happens, but yeah.
Well, I can, yeah. It doesn't really matter.
And see what it tells you.
So it should say 0. Yeah, so it is saying 0, and I can imagine then probably the repair is probably 0. There is no repair.
Okay.
So interesting how it
were you
took the retreat away from me. So maybe I don't know.
Because you countered it? No, because you counters normally. Normally it doesn't reset that.
Okay, so let's try this other one and let's have a little look and see what difference it makes sense. So where is it? It was over here. So let's go and see what that one. I'm not going to be able to evade this because that's the guaranteed damage piece, isn't it? So
retreat goes down when you fire 2, but okay, so you're firing CMs.
Ah, right. Okay, is that what it is? It's when I fire as well.
But I remember maybe it's because you have. My guess is because you have the built-in weapon might count differently, because I remember I used to do that all the time as far as like I would have gales and boom, 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 nothing hit me and I could still have the retreat button. But maybe it's because it's the interior, it's the built-in weapon, it doesn't count properly, if that makes sense.
Yeah, possibly. See, I'm actually counting every single one of those hunter torps.
Yeah, and that's and whether you do it from the side or you do it through your cormorants
doesn't seem to matter too much. But I haven't got that many. Like I said, I've only got
5,
5, 2, 4. I'm at 1. Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Hefe, are you in the habit of doing
8.
it from the side often?
Really depends on the moment. It really depends on the moment. So, okay, but You have taken. Okay, well now you're definitely going to take damage, but
I've got no choice. There's no. All it's left
no,
is me.
no. I was looking because you were taking damage before, but it was. I'm trying to figure out how well the cormorants are working.
I think, yeah, it's maybe I should just try and hit some of those protos next time head on and see what the cormorants are actually doing, because it doesn't look. Oh, what's the path of this stupid thing? Come on, just need to learn the route of the target. So.
All right, come on, so I can get all sped up to hit you. There you go.
It looks like the range is about 30 to 40, doesn't it? Switches from the long range to the short range. So this one here, hopefully I can come down and come up this way at that sort of angle, because it'll start moving there, won't it? I'm guessing anyway.
Yeah, too much driving. The charger.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to auto these, to be honest. I'm not even going to freaking drive another one. So I'll just do them on my phone. There is another ship. It's up there. Right, let my cormorants see if they did all the... No, they didn't drop it all. No, they didn't. Cormorants... Oh, I don't have enough cormorants on to stop everything coming in just from one ship. More stuff somewhere. Where?
Hit the S button. It's probably... Oh, no, it's 150, so there's no Nighthawks. Did you have to kill all the...
Shouldn't have to, because I didn't in the last couple of targets.
The center one is the one you have to hit.
No, that's it. That's it. He's coming down.
No.
Okay, interesting. So the question is how 4%, no percent, really? Don't believe you on that.
Yeah, we sent a memo in after you went like mostly concussive on your armor, and then we're like, okay, well.
So that looks potentially instant fix, but very boring.
If it's explosive,
quite nice.
Yeah, if it's explosive, it's going to be spread around, right?
Yeah,
it should be.
It should be even across the fleet.
Yeah, like 3 minutes and 45 seconds.
But don't forget the flagship's only at U3.
Yeah, if you hit it from the side, everything will spread around perfectly nice. Keep the enemy torpedoes in the firing arcs, and we're all good.
I don't know.
Here's the
I'm wondering, like, he loses power, and so therefore he can't watch Pornhub anymore. Is that the problem?
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah,
so those are all instant fix.
Yeah, I've gotten cranky when I've lost power. I've had hurricanes, but not like 2 inches of water. 2 inches of rain doesn't shut down.
So that's an instant fix in the base then. There you go.
Well, there you go. Now just pick our flagship up to X1 and we're all good.
Yeah, so that's okay. So let's look at the 52 then. Must be one close because people hate doing that. Well, I'm going to go in about this angle here. So 19 minutes. And that's no crew. So
okay.
I think I would put the classic sub one on to give me a bit more combat speed.
Sea serpents or the well, you're talking. Well, I'm thinking sea serpents evade and turn speed.
No.
You're talking on the old guys with the critical.
The real old ones.
And
10% combat boost. Combat speed. Yeah. Because I think that's what's missing here is combat speed as opposed to turn. Because look, I quite like the fact that now they're particularly at X1, the turn is acceptable, more than acceptable. Yeah, smart torpedo fired on me, didn't it? Didn't even see that was in an ice field. There's that. Yeah, so let's work out what range. I mean, you need to be quite far out. I mean, I was about what 45 then. Another smart torpedo coming in from the north.
There you go. Nice move. There's a lot of them coming at you at one time.
Yeah.
Getting kind of close there. Okay, got the torpedo.
And zoom down and get this proto if I can. Then turn at that angle. Oh, that smart torpedo won't make it though, so it won't make it.
Yeah,
It's over there.
Your turn
Yeah.
speed looks low here compared to the smart torpedo almost.
Yeah. You can still dodge it, so where's he going? He's going up there. Coming out of fixed arcs, which is nice. I feel like I've got more control this time. When I did the stream,
Yeah, you
I
don't
felt like I
want
was turning far too fast. I mean, yeah, damage is still damage, but ultimately,
Yeah, I can't see why it's good there to have low turn speed, so you stay in your movements are not exaggerated quite as much.
he's going to trigger and come towards me, isn't he? Yeah. Knowing the path of the ships as well, in it, because then you can start hitting them at the right angles as well, which is going to help, obviously.
Yeah, from the side. Okay, a few more left here. That's a big target with lots of fields.
He's going to start arcing either up or down. There's 3 of them there. Good lord. He's up first. Oh, it's triggered straight away. So. He's going to disappear too. So you didn't have to kill that one this time, look. There's a building there, look. So it just seems to be the auto target you've got to kill the buildings and not in this target, because that one's still alive as well. So what do we get on that then? 3% taken and 1%. 40 minutes.
Okay.
Let's go back in the dock and just see how much of that was because the flagship wasn't X1. So 20 minutes, 40 minutes. I mean, that wasn't the best driving, I have to say. It is 1:30 in the morning.
It's all relative. What time is it for you, Crypto?
Midday.
So yeah, 8 minutes. That's not horrendous. 8 minutes, obviously, for the X1s, and then 10 minutes. Still not bad, though.
Yeah. Change your armors around.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'll bother, though. I've not got that much to do on that. Right. So we're at 40 minutes. Let's go out and have a look at the... What was that other horrendous one? What was it called?
The four. No, you called it 411. It was.
No, that's the other. That's the other one, isn't it?
512, isn't it?
5. Yeah, 512.
Yeah, 512.
Yeah.
Yep.
The horrible thing. Right. Seems like a bit of breathing space. Yep.
Dynamite's got his so,
8:30 p.m.
Yeah. That's where it is here. So
yeah, is that East Coast?
yeah, East Coast time.
Smart torpedo coming in straight away. Look.
Yeah, it's targeting from.
Easy to avoid though.
Yeah. They probably modeled it off of the floating fortress.
The one coming in now.
Well, the comet speed's high, but the turn speed is awful.
I'm not complaining.
No. I'm just saying if they're modeling that for a new ship, all right. So he's not firing at you yet.
No, okay. So I managed to stay. So it seems like between the range there, it looks quite. So what's that? I mean, what's that? What's the actual range of this thing? Is it 88 or 90 or something? It's the range of is it 80? The range of the torpedoes? I think it's 80, isn't it?
88. Yeah.
Like 88, isn't it? So it looks like 75 to. Oh, hello! Get out of the way! Get out of the way!
It's about a 9. 8 to 9.
8 to 9, sort of. Buff. Go far again, so hopefully I can go north. I mean, they're slow, but yeah, so that's too close.
Yeah, because the original smart torpedoes were a little smarter.
Yeah, they were. The arc was much faster, wasn't it? Much faster.
Now we're gonna drive around the map for a while and see what happens. They're definitely.
I just didn't want to hit their subs on return.
Oh god, there's even more over here.
These are supposed to be the nastier ones.
At least they trigger in 2s or 3s, so they're not all triggering at once.
Not as problematic as I thought they were going to be, I must admit. So what have we got down here? Anything? No, nothing here. Oh, it's all the way over there.
It's all
Let's utilize these oil-filled slick. I run the big box, little box thing.
This is like Othello?
Uh-huh.
You know Othello, right?
Nope.
Anybody else heard of Othello? Derpy, you've heard of Othello, or are you too young?
Yeah, the Greek hero.
What?
The Greek
no, the game, the board game.
Hello.
Yes, I have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, black and white dot.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, this target's just too long and boring.
Yeah. I don't know. It seems like the original, the straight S targets seem to be the way to go.
Yes, definitely. Just through pure speed. So.
Yeah.
You got the top, isn't there? Yeah, there is. So they trigger and they stop after a while. That's interesting. They triggered, they moved, and then they stopped because I obviously drove away from them. Definitely to take the V crew off is far more controllable. And a bit more combat speed wouldn't go amiss, to be honest. That should be everything. It is. It was 40 minutes, wasn't it? It was on before, so I mean, it wasn't the best driving. But... What do we take then? 2% and 2%. That's because I got too close to those subs. 50 minutes? Is it 50 minutes? 40 minutes?
Yeah, I think we're right around there. So,
well, that's not horrendous, is it? To be honest.
Not awful, but eventually I think people that want to grind away at it would be.
Let's look at that combined over between U and the X, because the protection factor's the same, isn't it?
Well, you're at X1, so that's going to be different from because the X1. The X1 upgrade provides
400 up to 400%, isn't it? It's supposed to be. So
yeah,
survival there, yeah, it's 1,003% looking.
yeah, it's significant as far as the amount of damage that you're taking or not taking. So
I mean, that's crazy. Look, 1,003%. I mean, the numbers are just a joke.
Yeah, they're odd as far as the way it's.
Yeah, and on obviously the flagship, it's 400% less, according to that, because the bills are identical.
Yeah, unless you look at the actual, but if it's not 400% less.
No, because it doesn't work that way. But yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
In fact, we were going to look at so 30 minutes for each one of these, and that's after 2 targets.
Okay,
and then 20 minutes.
Okay, so you have okay. So you have 1,003. Pop up the flag. And 6. So you basically doubled the survival numbers, right?
Yeah, because that's 77,200, isn't it? On that.
Yeah.
And then, one of these is 128.
Well, it's not double, but 40% boost.
It's certainly good enough, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm just trying to communicate for the people that don't have X1 as far as So
the only bonus I'm missing, isn't it, is obviously the extra built-in torpedo bonus, because that's missing, isn't it, as well? What is it? I can't remember what it's called. It's the flurry, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes. Their torpedo flurry with this +5 salvo and the additional 20% slow. So yeah, that's the one. It's the only thing you're missing over the fully upgraded fleet.
Yeah,
but I don't really see it doing that much. Because it is an aura. It's not what impacts. And they go through the aura pretty quickly.
I mean, I was almost, as I said to a couple of guys in my alliance, it's almost not quite as good, but you could almost just build 5 Ronin straight and not actually worry about the flagship. There's not a huge amount of bonus to having the flagship in this particular fleet.
Well, I mean, the damage they do is pretty incredible relative to if it works the way it's supposed to. Because it's in theory that 3.5. I forget the numbers, but I think it's somewhere around 4 times the damage. It's basically doubling your damage if you hit with that.
Once it's up there, you got to get it to X1 though.
No, not even X1. Even just having it is.
And suppose the only how can I check that? Because you almost like when they take a single ship into a target and kill off one of the hunters, and then take one of the other ships into a target and kill off the hunter, and see how long it takes in comparative time with EV or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, because you can't compare. Yeah, I mean you could do that,
but not tonight.
Okay.
Right. That's me.
Alrighty. Well, I'm going to post the link in case anybody wants to join the after show. We've been going on for a while. And we really hope that TSM does not need to, refresh his
anything.
Yes. Well, I wasn't sure how you were spelling. What?
Memory?
Yeah. No. I was just, because was a little dodgy there at the point because Derpy can't do the, nobody could do, until crypto popped up and was like, I'll do it. It was a little bit like, I
We
didn't
have
know.
no targets.
Yeah. It was like, how do we explain the targets? And that wasn't happening. So, but the link's out there in case anybody wants to join the after show. And thanks everybody for showing up, and hope you have the best of luck in the raid. And we'll see you on Friday when hopefully we'll get some answers as far as at least the calendar, and then maybe some people have found out better ways to hit some of these targets, without just first impressions type of thing. So thanks for joining, and we'll see you all in 2 days.
Later.
Later, people.
Bye.